Okay, here we are dissecting a 80's GM cruise control stalk switch. Um, the end here, first of all, over here is a common failure point for the wire harness, right where it goes into the column housing. It wears down and breaks the wires. That goes in a little groove here up to the switch. The end here, where the seam is, a little force that pops off. I used a pair of wire cutters to pop it open. Then it stops because you have the push button here is pressed on, snapped on to the end of a shaft, but it will pop off. Like that. You can see the button fell off. That's what it looks like inside. Here's the cap without the button inside. I believe that piece there is some kind of contact when you push a button. Who knows? I'm just trying to help us figure shit out. And there's the end of the shaft that the button snaps onto. It has a little groove right here on the end of it. Just sticks on there like that. Take a look at this end here. Now you can sorry, I had to enjoy my smoke there. This will open up a little bit. When you slide the silver plastic part off here, it wants to cover a hole up. So you got to pull this switch end out first. And you can help get it out by pushing that wire in. This is really tough to get through there. Right here, you just kind of coerce it in there, and it starts to push the switch out. And there you can see the yellow, red, blue, green wires soldered to the connections. You can take a look in there. There's a hollowed out shaft that the wire runs up. Now it is very apparent that if you try to pull this whole harness through, this end that plugs into the socket will not fit through this hole. So it's very apparent that it gets fed through here and then is soldered to the switch in production. So to pull it apart, you have to unsolder these connections, or if you're a redneck like me, Yankee redneck like me, you just cut the goddamn harness and pull it through, just to have a little, how to here. Just to simplify things for discussion. So here's the innards of that switch. There's your sliding cruise position switch here. Looks to be on a some kind of a track. You can see how it looks there. Now I rehearsed this a little bit to get to this point earlier while getting called to work on an emergency and replacing the spark plugs in Selfie with AC Delco R43 TS's and replacing the spark plugs in the Mercury outboard. So now we're at the point where this is new territory for all of us, or at least me. I'm not sure how this switch comes off, but we're gonna look like a horse's ass trying to figure it out. So let's say fuck it and do this together. I'm prying on it. Ah, look at that. I'm using a can of good old Pour 15 rust treatment to hold this camera steady, and it's really in my way, as you can tell. But there is some there's copper or a plastic piece in here that snaps into with that little tab. It's interesting. Try to put it in there. Yeah, so as that comes out, it just pops out. You gotta pull it out, straight out. Now, that's getting really tiny. It looks like it's pieced together right here as a seam. This piece wiggles in here. It must be spring loaded. So that sets your cruise. We gotta take a good look at what's in that sucker. Let me get my cutters. And we just have a bundle of joy of a mess in this garage. Now all my good tools are in the wagon cart over there. And I guess that's where I gotta get my cutters out of. Hot rod, there's your center hubcaps off the 89, and this box has other goodies for you in it. Soon to be on the way. It's my cartload of goodies for working in the backyard. Where's those cutters at? Up here? No. Yeah, it was just a walking clusterfuck tonight. There we go. Do this without drop the camera. Apply pressure at the correct seam, and it pops right off, doesn't it? Quite a bit of electrical stuff, connections going on in there, isn't there? There's the end of the push button. And that is actually, if you can see that, a self-contained spring-loaded brass contact unit there. It's pretty fancy. That's cool. And we got, I'm not sure. I wish I could figure out this more without destroying it, but you can see it's quite a device there, and I can have a deeper understanding now why these go bad, these complete assemblies. Over time, I mean, this thing's over 20 years old. You know, it wears out. It's good to have a good look in here to see how it's built and understand it and help us diagnose our issues. One thing that's interesting to me is this brass piece that's just snapped on here. You can move it. There must be some kind of a I bet that's some kind of a like a resistance for this cover that slides on, so it's not flopping around. Yeah, I can feel it as soon as I slide on there. So it's like a some kind of a spring to help it have a little drag. So that's good shit, guys. You know, that's it. I've been looking forward to doing this and sharing it. That's it. Time to wrap it up. Talk to you later.